It's September in New York, and that means one thing. The school year has started, and this year feels different but also familiar. It's the third school year where the COVID-19 pandemic has thrown a curveball for New York schools. And while vaccines have been available for adults for months now, a lot of school-age children still don't qualify, leaving questions about the safety of in-person learning. Plus, the spread of the Delta variant led to new guidance from the state requiring masks in school. That's something that didn't sit well with some parents. That's according to Kyle Belakopitsky, the executive director of the New York State Parent-Teacher Association.
At the end of the school year, there was great confusion. The Department of Health had said on a Friday, well, on Monday, we're going to go mask optional. The CDC denied that request. So parents felt like they had something given to them that was taken away. And I said, and then I think that created some bad feelings in many circles. Moving forward over the summer, school districts were allowed to have some mask optional policies for summer school based on a new CDC ruling. However, now we have Delta variant.
That decision was based on a recommendation by the CDC that was adopted by the state. And while that choice was controversial, union leaders say it was the best way to get everyone back in the classroom. Andy Pallotta is the president of NYSUT, the state's largest teachers union.
Well, we support the governor and her position on universal masking. It's important that we are as safe as possible at all times. While this may be something that some people would take a position that they don't like it, at this time, it's the best place for us to be. Wearing a mask is not the biggest sacrifice that you have to make.
Pallotta says teachers overwhelmingly wanted to be back in the classroom in person this year, at least partially due to some of the challenges presented by remote learning. Belakopitsky says one of those challenges is tech equity, where some kids had access to technology while others did not. That became clear at the start of the pandemic.
I mean that we had almost 200,000 students that had no access to a device, so how could we teach them? We had nearly 200,000 students that had no access to broadband, so how could they learn online? Some of those systemic type of problems we still have to face and solve together as a state.
But while schools are back in person, some districts could still be forced back to remote learning if there's an outbreak. That means the need for virtual connections has not gone away. Cosmo Tangora, the superintendent of the Niskayuna Central School District, which is just outside of Schenectady, says in order to bridge that divide, we need to think of the internet in a different way.
Yeah, in my humble opinion, you need to think of internet access the same way you think of plumbing and electricity. You know, it's a utility that's necessary in order for not only all the services that you mentioned, but healthcare as well, and in order for us to make sure that, you know, every citizen in every corner of the state and the country has equal access to the opportunities that are afforded to them.
Another major challenge facing schools as the year starts is a workforce shortage. Albany School Superintendent Kawita Adams says schools need staff that may not be as visible as teachers, but are just as important.
We have been fortunate that we have had enough bus drivers to run our routes, but if a bus driver calls in, therein lies the challenge. Where is the sub driver that can come in and take the place? So we have seen a large concern with our labor force in transportation, in food services, and in maintenance.
But for some, there is hope for change as COVID transmission rates start to come down. Bob Schneider is the executive director of the State School Boards Association. He says that if the numbers continue to go down in the coming months, schools should have the flexibility to make changes.
It depends. It depends on where you're from and what's going on. There are a lot of districts that have very low transmission rates, and they're like, we do not want masks, and they're anti-vaccines. But once again, we don't have a position. What we do ask the governor and the Department of Health, give us leeway when we get through this global pandemic and things are looking better.
And those issues have become political as well. Congressman Lee Zeldin, the Republican favorite for governor, also has children in school. He says that while masks have not been an issue for them, he's against the state requiring them in schools. He says it can be difficult for some kids, like in this video that went viral.
And you see the kids struggling to put the mask on, to keep the mask on, and constantly snapping back in the 2-year-old kid's face, crying, screaming. And that's the mother trying to get the kid to wear that mask, which is different than a stranger or a teacher, a third party.
But others say the mask requirement shouldn't be an issue. Senator Shelley Mayer chairs the Education Committee, and she says that pushing back against anti-mask advocates should be a top priority.
I can appreciate there's a difference of opinion about vaccines, but masks should not be an emotional issue for parents, in all due respect. Masks should not be a dividing line where people are screaming and yelling at Board of Education meetings. This is a proven method to reduce the spread of a deadly disease for which children under 12 cannot be vaccinated.
So over the next few weeks, state education leaders say that COVID numbers, including vaccines, will likely drive the conversation moving forward, at least in the short term. For New York Now, I'm Daryl Camp.